Let them be haunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. William Shakespeare.
Our players this week are Vincent Taylor, Tempest's husband, and our victim, and Tempest Daniel, our murderess.
Tempest Simone Daniel was born in 1990 to her mother, Kimberly Daniel. And Facebook says that she's from East Point. This is East Point, Georgia. So East Point, Georgia is like right by College Park. Unfortunately, her Instagram is private, so we couldn't find too much on it. But the bio of her Instagram reads, proud mother of two of the world's most precious gifts. My earth emoji is the love I have for my children. Now, Tempest didn't have a job at the time of the story or was in and out of jobs, but at one point she did work as a bank teller for Bank of America. And that's a good job. She should have kept it. Her most recent job was at Kohl's as a customer service rep. There were some sources that said that when she was working at Bank of America that she was like the high power manager of a bank, but people that know her tell a different tale. Tempest was known to be very funny and goofy, and she liked to be around other people that were funny and goofy to match her energy. And she found the perfect guy to match that funny, goofy energy, and his name was Vincent Taylor.
Vincent G. Taylor Jr. was born on August 23rd of 1990 in Atlanta, Georgia. He was born to his dad, Vincent Taylor Sr., and his mom, Robin Brown. He was the firstborn on both sides of his family with his mom and his dad, and they considered him their special child. He was spoiled by everybody in the family, and he needed that extra loving because when he was just a toddler, his parents got divorced. His mom had custody and his dad would visit him from time to time, but the divorce was hard on Vince. Whenever his dad would visit, he would always ask when him and his mom are going to get back together. Some people would be like, oh, they was young, they don't even remember us being together. VJ wanted them together, like always. He wanted a two-parent household. He wanted his parents to be in love. What made it harder on VJ was that his dad started becoming more and more absent. When his dad speaks on it now, just said he was missing in action because his priorities weren't in order. But all of that affects the child growing up. Vincent went to Osborne High School and he attended the school with his cousin, Jordan Fife. They developed this love of music together. And he and his cousin were super close, more like brothers. And he and Jordan would make these videos together where they're dancing. Okay, y'all remember
Them
back in the
Soldier Boy
day?
videos were so
Soldier
like
Boy, all the crank
2000s.
dads with the baggy pants, long t-shirt with the fitted cap, and everybody doing that lean with it, rock with it, all
Throwing it
that.
up, catching it. Yep, they did
Stuff.
all that.
Then you had to throw it up. Sometimes it was a baseball and you hit it out the park and that type of shit. Jordan said that Vincent would have went crazy in his TikTok era. Like, that's how much he was into it, loved it. So he would have been all over TikTok with the shits. He even said that Vincent had a very special ear when it came to music. And as he got older and started creating his own music, it just got better and better. So after high school in 2010, Vincent decides to enroll in the Art Institute of Atlanta for audio production.
That's right. And within 6 months of being at the Art Institute, Vincent and Tempest finally meet. And when they first started dating, they were inseparable. They were spending nearly all of their time together. And a lot of people that were really close, like his cousin Jordan, was like, initially it really made sense because they were goofy, they were funny, they were good to be around. And they both had dreams and ambitions at the time. So it really worked. And when you saw them, it just looked like love. It looked like real, genuine care for each other. However, what your cousins see is not what your grandma and them see. Because when he brought Tempest home to meet his family, his grandma, her name is Linda. Linda was like, I don't know about this girl. And while his cousin was like, she was goofy and funny and whatever, his grandma was like, she was quiet. She was kind of reserved. I couldn't really get a read on her. And if grandma can't get a read on you, then the read is not good. And then his mom meets her, and his mom was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. You make sure you watch after him. Make sure he does what he's supposed to do. Make sure that he's on top of everything, girl. Like, just making conversation." And she was just straight up, "I don't have time to worry about Vincent. I got to look out for myself." Because the proper thing you say is, "Oh, I'll be looking out for him if he's looking out for me. Oh, I don't have to worry about him. It's him that has to look after me because he's doing great." Something that just like leans into the joke, but just a smidgen of care. Ain't worrying about that nigga. It's numero uno around here. His mama was thrown off about that.
I almost felt like, on one hand, it's nice to see somebody saying, I ain't trying to get wrapped up in a man. I gotta look out for me. This man need looking after. He grown like I'm grown. Cause like in college, you get so wrapped up in other people's shit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be loyal, trying to be down, and then letting yourself go. But then seeing how the story ended, it was just like, it probably was a red flag. And some people be blunt and don't know how to say shit.
It's that you can literally just fake it for the parent.
Even if you gave her,
or just a quick little, I got him. Like, we got each other. Or even he look out for me more than I be looking out for him. He's great. Anything. That threw his mama off. Grandma throw it off. Mama throw it off. They not feeling her for real. Vincent and Tempest, they're hanging out so much that Vincent starts going to class. And this is his dream. So why are you not going to class? It's not like you got to take a random fucking history class. This is for the thing that you want to do. So he stops going to class and then he ends up dropping out altogether. And his mom and his dad, this is very disappointing to them because they've known that this has been this boy's dream forever. Like, these are his goals. Audio production, making music. It's been what he's been doing since he was young. So why are you stopping all of a sudden? Vince's mom is talking to him like, "Son, what's going on? Why are you stopping going to classes? This is the best opportunity for you to do what you need to do." And Vincent's like, "Ma, I just feel like everything that they teaching me, I can teach myself. And the school is not necessary for me. Like, I just need to go out into the world and do what I need to do." And that works for some. It don't work for everybody. Because sometimes school is not just about what you can learn. It's about the network and the opportunities. And I think that's probably what his mom was trying to tell him. But he was like, "I got it. This is Atlanta. I can be self-taught, work on my music at home, do what needs to be done, and I'm going to blow up. And I'm going to buy the whole house of Mercedes." I don't know. But instead of doing that, he was spending all of his time with Tempest. He was never really at home. He was always at her house. He didn't have a steady job. He was hopping from job to job to job. And I'm watching you not do what you say that you want to do. How do I help you out of this? But he's in it thick, all in the name of love.
So he sticks out with Tempest. They're a year into their relationship and things start to kind of shift. Like, now it's not only his parents seeing red flags, Vincent's seeing a few red flags himself. Tempest is having mood swings. She's verbally abusive. She's always yelling at him. She's always telling him he's not good enough, all this other stuff. And Vincent confiding in his bro. He'd be like, "Jordan, man, Tempest be saying some wild shit to me, bro." He says she can just snap at a push of a button. And as he's telling these instances and the things that Tempest would say to him, these mood swings, as you call it, don't really sound like normal behavior, bro. Jordan could see Tempest for who she really was, almost. And although he took nothing away from her, as her mother said, she was a great mother, but she was not the girl for his cousin. They weren't a match. This wasn't happiness. This wasn't what it's supposed to be like. And he eventually takes these signs and red flags that he's seeing. And Vincent gets so overwhelmed by it all, he eventually goes to his parents and tells them about what he's been experiencing in his relationship. And Vincent tells his dad that he and Tempest will argue a lot. He said that Tempest was very hard to please. And he would say to his mom that he didn't think that Tempest loved him anymore because of how angry she would get. And he'd ask his mom, "How do I make her love me?" And his mom was like, "Son, you can't make somebody love you." At home, the abuse that Vincent was suffering just got worse and worse. Vincent called him stupid. She said his music was trash. She said he was too old to be a rapper. Like, this
Why you
person
tearing me
post.
down, girl?
Why
These my
are you tearing
dreams.
me down on my dreams? when you
Dreams that
knew.
they're not new dreams. I could see if he was like, today I've decided I'm gonna be a rapper. Nah, nigga, you too old for that shit. I've been wanting to be a rapper since, you know.
But he's still young. It's a lot of people his age and older that has made it. But Jordan said she was just mean. She was just mean. Especially to somebody who was trying so hard to please you. He said that Tempest always could find something to complain about. It didn't matter what it was. He said usually she was complaining about Vincent not making enough money. His mom said that she always found a way to put him down, and eventually Vincent started to actually feel like a failure because if you're hearing it day in and day out, you start to internalize it. She trashing his music, he feeling like he not good enough there. Then he putting his all into this relationship, and she's never fucking happy. She's never happy. He says, "Me? Am I not? How can I not be enough? I'm trying everything, and I'm still not enough." And his mom would say, "Vincent, baby, you love her too much." I wonder if mothers tell their same things to their sons that they do daughters. But you ever been told you gotta find somebody who loves you more than you love them?
Definitely been told that.
I wonder if boys get told that.
I don't know. I don't have.
So
We don't have brothers.
I know.
Somebody tell us.
Yes, please, please let us know. But she was just like, you love her too much. And Vincent's, I just gotta try harder. Maybe if I buy her some flowers or make dinner for her and the family and take a little load off of her, maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe I gotta step up more. And his mom responded, you're chasing something that's not there. Vincent also felt like the longer that they were together, the better Tempest learned his insecurities and ultimately used it against him when they got into heated arguments. She would post these things on Facebook, which, please don't bring my shit to the internet. Why do the internet gotta know we arguing?
They do not need to know anything. And people be wondering why they don't feel comfortable telling people they business. Because why would you throw that back in my face? I told you this in confidence.
And she like subtweeting him. Oh, I've always been a present mom. And he was like, that's a dig at me. And people, he was like, see, they doing such. And everybody else would be like, what you mean? She just talked about herself. Nah, but she meant it towards me. And the people who
Or
ain't in it, they
or
can't see it. No.
or the people that be like, it's a song lyric. Bitch,
He felt like she was digging in on him as a parent. Oh, you've always been present, but I haven't. Is it because I work too much? But I'm working to provide this family. Like, again, we're back in this cycle of not being good enough. If I got to go to work, then I can't be around my kids as much, which means more of that falls on you. But if I don't go to work, then I'm not paying enough for the house. I'm already going to work, not making enough for the household. You know what I mean? I'm still not making enough to make you happy. And that's probably why he dropped out of school. He needed more money to fund her.
and she keep yelling about money. This man is borrowing money from his mama
To keep up, bro.
to keep up with you, and you not doing nothing. And I
And
know
then
his mama tired of that.
I know she is. And then there would be these points where Vincent would just be so fed up and he'd be like, you know what? I can't take this, Tempest. I can't take it. I gotta go. I can't do this no more. And she would then say, nigga, if you think you about to leave me, you'll never see me or these kids again. And these kids are his world. He
Now I
loves,
can't
there's
see my
nothing he loves
kids.
more than being a dad. As vindictive as Tempest has been, he believed in what the fuck she's saying. And sure, he could go and fight it. How long would it take? Would he even win? They always take the mom's side, right? So
They
his safest bet
they
seemed to
be
come.
doing that.
So his safest bet seemed to stay and try and make it work.
So Vince's mom goes out of town, and when she comes back, she looks around their house and she's like, what the heck happened around here? And she could tell that there was an argument. Want to know why? Because there were holes all in the wall. And she's asking Vincent, what happened? What's going on? Why are there holes all in the wall? And Vincent was very quiet. He didn't give specific details. He was just like, oh, we had an argument. An argument? There are holes in the wall. Mom, it was
Or
just,
argument, boy, you had a brawl.
it was just, we just argued. It's all right. Everything's good. And his mom was like, I just knew that something was wrong with their relationship. And Tempest is also saying that she's not happy either. So the mom is, girl, I'm going to talk to you like if you were my child. If you're not happy, leave. And Tempest says, I have nowhere else to go.
Which is not what I want to hear as a mom. Why not leave? You better be saying, but yeah. Sounds like you should have been gone then.
Because how you going to tell my son you don't love him? You ain't got nowhere to go. You better lace up your boots, put on your backpack, and get to riding. Come on now. You need to figure something out. And his mom just knew that that wasn't the right response. Something bad is really going to happen between the two of them. But Vincent just could not let go. Vincent said, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna turn around and hurt you. And so things were getting so bad. Vincent's like, all right, Tempest, how about we work on us still and we move in with your parents? So they move in with Tempest's parents. And when they do, next thing you know, Tempest finds out that she is pregnant. So they got this baby. And then the next year they move into their own apartment. Vince says, I gotta be a man about this. Tempest, how about you and I go get hitched? Because he's always wanted that two-parent household. He wants mom and dad to be together. He's wanted it for himself as a kid. He wants it for his child. He hits up his mama. He says, hey, mom, just letting you know me and Tempest are married. His mama's, what? You're married? Congratulations, I guess. They eloped. They got married by themselves. And his dad, his dad was like, it was a blow to us. Like, we didn't, it was just a shocker. And listen, eloping, people do it all the time. People do it to save money. People do it for spontaneity, all of that. But doing it just because we have the kid, never a good idea. Never a good idea. I am all for eloping, but the reason you elope needs to be right. Does that make sense? That makes sense.
A few months into their marriage, things are right back how they were when they were dating. Tempest just seemed so erratic. And I guess he thought that being married and showing his commitment to her would change things, but it didn't. It almost exasperated it. At this point, Vincent is working at UPS, and their fights are getting to the point where Tempest is doing anything she can to like destroy and fuck with this nigga, to the point where he trying to leave for work and she hiding his keys. Like she don't want that check area to Friday. Vincent is complaining to his dad, she out here, she's jumping on my car. I can't even leave because she's on my car and she's jumping on it. Or she's standing in front of the car. I can't back out the driveway. Like, she's making it impossible. Like, he gonna catch a charge trying to get out that goddamn house. His dad said, son, I just don't understand how Tempest can claim to love you and treat you so bad. Sabotage y'all income. How do that work? He just felt like Tempest had so much control over Vincent, almost like he was in a trance. And he said he could feel it. He felt if it got bad enough, he absolutely believed that Tempest would hurt his son. So this behavior that Tempest is showing with Vincent trying to get to work, it ain't like a one time, two time, oh, I just lost my shit real quick type of thing. It got to the point where Vince's boss got tired of the fucking excuse. He was like, hey, bro, you fired. I can't deal with it. If you can't get here, then this ain't the job for you. But still, through all these fights, through all these arguments, neither one of them are really at their breaking point. Even after being fired from UPS, Vincent still stuck it out with Tempest. And in 2016, Tempest gives birth to their second child, a boy. Vincent's kids, these are his pride, his joy. And he wanted to make sure that they grew up with both parents. He also didn't want them to be spoiled, but he wanted them to have good manners. He wanted them to be well behaved. And he felt like they would be the most well rounded in a two-parent household. So he's fighting it out. Vincent eventually finds another job, but again, doesn't feel like enough for Tempest. No matter how much money he made, it was never enough money. It got to the point where Vincent was handing over his entire check to Tempest. She had full control of the money, and she still was not satisfied. It got so bad that he's asking his family to help him make ends meet. Even his mom, it was just never enough. He never had enough money for her. The family that he was funding for years and years, it was never enough because Tempest is a stay-at-home mom. She ain't got no job. He's back on his cry again. No matter what he does, he can't make Tempest happy. He says, Ma, I want to get a divorce. Can you help me? She says, yes, baby. I will help you with whatever you need. We're going to get through this together. I got you. So his mom owned a second home, a rental property in Rex, Georgia, which is in Clayco. And after a while, Vincent was moving everything he owned into this house. He even made himself a little studio so he could get back on the record, start making his music again. Like, it was back to Vince putting Vince first, so Vince could be the best Vince that he could be. A week passes and Vincent becomes real hopeful of what's about to come. He's got his own spot. He don't gotta have Tempest breathing down his neck. His mom is even helping him save money for a lawyer. He said, now I really feel like I can focus and I can get my life back on track for me and for my kids. Oh, but by the start of that next week, Tempest said, this a nice place you got here, brother. And she moved in, her and the kids. He calls his mom. He says, hey, Mom, looks like I'm not going to go through with that divorce after all. His mom and his dad was like, what in the fuck?
I know they were like, oh my gosh.
And now she's in my house? His mom and dad think that the main motivator were the kids. They felt like he was madly in love with Tempest, but regardless of what they had going on, he told his dad he could not see himself living without his children. And of course, I'm sure he's pulling from, Dad, when you and Mom got divorced, I didn't see you as much. You was in and out. I don't want to be in and out of my kid's life. I love my kids. And I love how committed to his children that he is. But he also has to be committed to showing his children what a healthy relationship looks like. You have a son and you have a daughter. You're teaching your son how to be treated, and you're teaching your daughter how to expect to be treated. And maybe even vice versa, because you don't know. But you showing them what a relationship looks like and what they should strive for, what should feel normal. And it's not a good example that it's being set here. His mom could even see that this divorce that she had so long ago was still having such an effect on him and his life decisions. His mom was just so disappointed. She said it was just a vicious cycle and he couldn't get out. They made attempts, but it keeps feeling better in your body shouldn't feel like a full-time job. That's why hers makes it easier to get started and stick with it. Backed by expert guided online care that actually puts your weight loss goals first. These days, everybody talking about weight loss, but not how hard it is to actually get access to the right care. That's where hers comes in. Hers is changing that with transparent pricing, expert care, and personalized plans that are built around you. Hers is transforming women's healthcare with affordable weight loss treatment options, whether it's oral medication kits or GLP-1 injectables. And with plans starting at just $69 a month, you can commit to a 10-month plan. You'll even get access to real providers who make sure you're getting the plan calls for a smooth talking ex-con. After crossing state line, details important. HERS.com/sisters. ForHers.com/sisters. Weight loss by hers is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not approved or reviewed for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescriptions required. See full website for details, important safety information, and restrictions. Actual price depends on product and plan purchase. Every Monday and Wednesday night, it's True Crime on TV1. On Fatal Attraction, Monday at 9, a young woman is trying to turn her life around and falls for a smooth-talking ex-con. After crossing state lines for him, she's pulled into a world of secrets, lies, and deception. Now she has to ask herself, how far is too far for love? Then on Wednesdays at 9, it's For My Man. This week, a teenage girl gets swept up by an older man who showers her with gifts. But her loyalty leads to a deadly setup and a tragic ending that leaves her future hanging in the balance. If you listen to Sisters Who Kill, you know we love Monday and Wednesday.
He would go to family functions.
At 9, watch True Crime on TV1. Sucking them back.
And Vincent, at this point, oh my gosh, my man is fed up. He's tired. He would go to family functions, take the kids, maybe, I don't know, swimming with the family or whatever. And they were like, he would be in such a good mood, be so happy. Everything seems to be going well. And as soon as it's time to go home, his mood shifts because he know he got to go home to Tempest. And Tempest, when she was in a good mood, everything was hunky dory. You see on their videos where it's, oh, look at daddy holding the baby. Mommy and daddy love you. But when she was upset, she was upset. She was a tempest. And now at this point, Vincent, he done made a studio at the house. He's got clientele coming over. He's making music. And this was his way of trying to avoid tempest. I'm in the house, but like I'm making money and I'm doing the thing and I can avoid confrontation. And it was starting to pay off. Like he was working with artists. He was doing it. It seemed like he was actually moving towards his goal for the first time in a long time. And Tempest didn't like that. Sometimes she would go down to the studio and they would get to arguing. Maybe he's in there by himself working on a beat or editing. And if she got mad, she'd throw the microphone down, hit the TV screen, throw the headphones across the room. Let me tell you something. These microphones are not cheap. They're not cheap. Knocking down a microphone can get you, if you ain't got the money liquid, it can get you out of commission for a minute. Because our microphones are what, $200, $300? If a nigga ain't got $200, $300 sitting in their pocket, you got to take care of your shit. You knocking up headphones, TV screens? Come on now. Studio equipment is expensive. Take it from us. We know. You can drop bands on studio equipment and still not have everything you need. Trust us, we know. So Vincent is talking to his mama and he's like, Mom, this shit is getting out of hand, bro. Things are not going well. I think that I'm going to ask her for a divorce. And Vincent's mom and Vincent's grandma was like, okay, you need to go and tell that girl that you tired of her stuff. You need to tell that girl that she needs to go. And he's like, okay. He goes to the house. He tells Tempest, I'm tired of it, all this. You need to go. And Tempest said, I ain't going no goddamn where. And he's like, no, you need to go. They get into an argument. Things start getting physical. He calls the police. Vincent is the one that calls the police. Police come to the house and the police talk to Tempest first. And see, the police, instead of asking her what happened, they said, did he hit you? And Tempest, yep, sure did. And Vincent was arrested. He didn't have any money for a lawyer. He didn't really know what to do. So he just ended up pleading guilty to a charge that he did not do. Now, it doesn't look like he served any really hard time. Maybe he just got probation for it. But at the end of the day, you got something on your record. And now when you have a domestic violence charge on your record, guess what you can't get? A good, decent job. And Vincent keeps saying, I didn't do it. She's holding on to that he did. But one day she's talking to her auntie and she was like, Auntie, he ain't hit me. The police officer asked if he did, and I just said yes, and they believed me. And it worked out in my favor. I know that's right. And at this point, this is pissing Vincent off because now he has no confidence in the police as a man because everybody says call the police. And we've had plenty of stories where it's call the police and they don't believe you. But abuse can go both ways. And Vincent was like, I called the police. I'm the one that's on the 911 tape saying, help, please come. They pull up. She ain't got a bruise on her, nothing on her. They checked her out. I got arrested. I got a charge. I can't get no job now. She knows she lied. She's admitted she's lied. She never withdrew her complaint. Yes, I'm just in it. And so now this cycle is going on and on and on. And it's like Vincent can't get out of it. His dad said it was just him being in love. So another time that they get into a fight, they're arguing. She's throwing shit, breaking shit. Vincent calls his dad. He's like, Dad, like this shit's going crazy, bro. I can't figure it out. Like she's just acting wild. And his dad's like, hey, get out the house. I'm going to come get you. I got you. So his dad pulls up. So he gets out of the house, and I guess Vincent starts like walking around, just pacing. You know, when you get angry and you just go out for a walk and you just end up where you end up. Vince's dad ends up picking him up at some random neighborhood. They get in the car. Vince's dad's trying to talk to him. Like, this is a grown man, but this is still his son. And sometimes a man needs another man to just talk to him, especially your father. And so his father just sitting there talking to him. And he's like, I can't keep doing this. And he's like, you right, son. You can't keep doing this. And his dad is like, listen, you can come stay with me. You ain't got to worry about rent. You can figure out how to get yourself back on your feet. Just leave. It's not worth it. And his dad really felt, okay, I finally got through to him. Like, he's going to come back to the house. Everything's going to be good. He goes to his dad's house. He's chilling there. Dad says he wakes up the next morning. Vincent is gone. He back over there with Tempest. Here it is. It's 2018. And all of the things in an abusive relationship you get. Tempest is, no, you need to be over here with the family, our family. This is your family. And if you try to go over there, I'm going to call the police for kidnapping. So it's almost like it's isolation. And his parents are starting to really realize that it's isolation because they're like, dang, we ain't seen Vincent. We ain't seen the kids in a while. Mom would call and be like, hey, I'm coming in town to see you and the kids. And he's like, Tempest don't really feel like having company over. Or we good. I don't want her to be upset. So on one occasion, Mama finally made it over to see her son. She said, I gave him a hug, and he hugged me so tight. She was like, and it wasn't just like a I miss you hug. It felt like my son was trying to tell me something through that hug. And he probably was like trying to be like, Mama, I'm scared, or Mom, I need you, whatever the case may be. She was like,
Or
he
I'm
was
just
trying to
not
tell me some,
happy, like anything.
like, he was just trying to, she was like, I just know he was trying to tell me something that he couldn't say out loud because of Tempest was right there. And so she said, I was just like I was racking my brain trying to figure out how can I help my son? What can I do for him? He's in it so deep. His own father said it seemed like he was in a trance when it came to Tempest. Vince's family, they're not leaving his side. But you know how it's like there's only so much I can do without you telling me what you need. In 2019, Vince's mom started giving him money.
It got to the point where his mom was just like, listen, baby, I understand you struggling, but I cannot afford my household and your household. Especially when you have a well-able woman right there. If you need more funds, she can work. I'm not going to bust my ass twice as hard so that she can sit at home. I'm sorry that you're struggling, but you need to work that out between your household. And it's not an unfair thing to say to a grown adult son who chooses to be with this woman.
Very grown adults.
In the winter of this year, Vincent calls his mom and tells her that he just can't do it anymore.
That was not very good for Tempest because basically his mom's money was supplementing the income that he was barely getting from odd jobs because he couldn't really hold down a job anyways because of the domestic violence charge that you gave him. And now your mama is not giving us money no more. How can you sustain this lifestyle? Arguments are starting to ensue. Vincent is feeling the pressure and his family is trying to be there, but they just don't know why. They just don't know how.
So, we're at the fresh top of 2020, January 18th. Vincent, Tempest, and the kids are supposed to go to Vincent's dad's house and hang out. So it's about 10:30 in the morning, and Vincent knocks on his dad's door, and he is crying. His dad opens the door, and Vincent immediately falls into his dad's arm. He's so upset. He was like, Dad, she's so mean. She's just so mean. And it's like, you really breaking his spirit here at his daddy door crying. Apparently, Tempest didn't want to go to Vincent's dad's house that day, even though those were the plans. And when Vincent said that he still wanted to go and he wanted to take the kids with him, she just starts beating on him. Vincent said, Dad, she kicked me in the nuts. And it still hurts. She kicked them good, y'all. His dad said, Boy, where are the kids? He said, They in the car. He said, Damn, let me get the kids out of the car. And he makes them all something to eat. And the four of them, they spend the rest of the day together. But we really just supposed to come over here and chill. And why is me chilling with my kids and my dad such an issue that you had to beat on me and kick me in the balls? Hey, anybody knows. That's like the most painful place you can hit a man. People don't really go for that unless they trying to deal out some pain, you know? But even though he made it to his dad's house, that don't mean Tempest left him alone. She was blowing up Vincent's phone the whole time. Calling, texting, back to back. Other family members were at his dad's house and they told Vincent maybe he and the kids should just stay the night and let Tempest cool down because, boy, she is five hot. And I could tell from here. Vincent said if he didn't get the kids home tonight, then Tempest is probably going to call the cops. And he ain't got time for that. So Vincent left with the kids to go back home to Tempest. But it's kind of like, now I got to explain that I'm in a situation to my whole family because you not letting up. They see you blowing me up. They see you not here. They telling me to stay. And I'm saying I can't stay. They're going to call the cops. That's alarming that the father of these kids can't stay at his dad's house with the kids or he gonna get the cops called on him. So Vincent gets back home and Tempest has her phone out and she's recording. She's taking a video of herself. You can hear Vincent in the background, but on camera, it's only her. No one will ever take care of you like I take care of you. You're a horrible person. They're gonna tell the kids that I hurt them. You hurt them. I need my phone. No. This is my phone. This is hers. It's not. I bought that phone. I bought all these phones. Give me my phone. Stop! I'm not even touching you, girl. Watch out. At this point in recording, you can see them walking around the house. You see the holes, big ass holes still in the wall. So Vincent gets a hold of the phone. He puts it in his pocket, but it's still recording.
I'm not even touching you, girl. Watch out. Vincent takes the phone from her almost immediately and puts the phone in his pocket.
Didn't you get in trouble for that with the police before, for taking the phone out of my hand? When you abusing me?
I wasn't abusing you. You're abusive.
I did nothing to you. I have not done anything to you. You just want to fight me.
No, I don't. I want to leave you.
Then leave.
That's what I'm doing. I'm taking my...
I'm gonna kill you.
Tempest, chill, bruh.
No.
Tempest, chill. Tempest, chill, man. Please, man, chill.
No. Stop. You think I am?
Stop.
You think I am?
Stab me in my neck, man. Man. Tempest, stop. Please, Tempest, I'm dying. No, please. Help.
So at some point in their argument, they both made it outside. Now, Tempest has a knife. Don't know where she got it from. But while she has this knife, she swings and she stabs him. And he starts screaming for help. And while he's screaming for help, he's like running towards the car. He gets into the car and he starts driving. Now, they're in Clayton County. He drives all the way to DeKalb County, which, ain't too far, depending on how deep you are in Clayco. Drives to a Chevron in DeKalb County, gets out of the car, and then collapses. And people can see him. He's clearly bleeding. He gets out of his car. He collapses. So bystanders call 911. And they're like, there's a man that just fell and he's bleeding. Somebody come and help him. The ambulance come and they transport him to the hospital. Now, in the meantime, back at the neighborhood, somebody did hear him screaming for help. And a lady calls. It sounded like a white lady. She's like, there's somebody outside screaming help. And the police come, which I've called 911 because somebody was outside screaming help before. And they were like, they asked me where I was and they were like, can you see outside? I was like, ma'am, I am not poking my head outside. Somebody is screaming for help and I can tell you where I am. And so you can look in the surrounding areas because I'm not about to be the next victim. Now, when police arrive to the house that is really his mama house, but they arrive to Tempest, you can see body cam footage of Tempest talking to the police officers at his mama's house. And so then when they get there, Tempest is on crutches. Where these crutches came from, don't know, because y'all was fighting inside, y'all was fighting outside, y'all was running around from each other outside, and now you're on crutches once the police arrive. So Tempest is on her crutches.
And we already know her to be a liar of abuse.
It's proven. She's admitted it herself. So now she's on crutches talking to these police officers. And my husband and I were arguing. He was coming at me. Look at me. I'm not able to move as fast as I can. So the police are like, all right, hold on. Let us go in the house and see what's going on. And it's raining out there and my kids are in there sleeping. I don't want my kids to hear anything or know what's going on. And the police officers, ma'am, I'm not standing out here in the rain, so let's go inside. Which is, when we started this podcast, it felt like we had to wear every single hat. Producer, editor, social media manager, even merch designer. It was exciting, but it was also overwhelming. States into funny stuff. And then he's, get out, I'm leaving. And I'd be like, what's they get inside? And the police then ask her what's going on. Month trial at shopify.com/sisters. That's shopify.com/sisters. Shopify.com/sisters. The funniest part of that, I'd be like, what's they get inside? And the police then ask her what's going on. And then Tempest, she starts crying. It's been a day. And Tempest says it all started when she came downstairs. She was like, and then I see my husband packing his stuff. And then he's, get out, I'm leaving. And I'm like, okay, fine then, leave. And then he gets so mad. He's angry, almost like he's foaming at the mouth. And I was like, you're just like a rabid dog. You're just aggressive like a rabid dog. That's why I can't
really?
talk
He's
to you.
foaming at the mouth now.
This girl. And then he got so upset with me. He pushed me so hard that my feet came off the ground and I ended up falling. And then when he got on top of me, he started punching me. And the police were like, he started punching you? Yes. And it was like, okay, where was he punching you? I was in the fetal position, like cradled up on the floor. Just stop, please stop. And this is not the first time I've had to call the police on him. He's gotten aggressive before. And then after he assaulted me, I tried to chase him. Like I tried to get him out of here, but he had my phone. And so I caught up with him, and when I went to grab him, I had my knife and I hit him. And the police are like, "Okay, so where did you stab him? Where'd you stab him?" I didn't. I didn't see anything. I was just trying to get him off me. I don't really know what happened. And so
Now,
the
mind
police are
you,
like,
at the point where she's saying she stabbed him, the police have already been there 20 minutes at this point, and they're just now learning that somebody got injured outside of these hits and stuff.
and now the police are looking around and they're like, "Oh, look, there's blood around the house, huh? Oh, look, right over there on the door. What was it? Like the door handle. Oh, wait, you guys, be careful." Now we see blood. Because at first we thought it was just a domestic violence dispute. And now you had a knife and then you hit him with the knife. No, bitch, you stabbed him. Now that they're realizing that somebody has been stabbed, they're like, okay, this is a different type of investigation. And so they're looking around the house. They're seeing the blood everywhere on doorknobs. They're seeing blood trails. They're seeing doorknobs. And they're like, where's your husband? And she's like, mm. They're like, you don't know where he is? Mm-mm, mm-mm. So one of the detectives, Jennifer Langley, because they had to, of course, call on a female detective, she did a physical exam of Tempest right there at the house. And Tempest claimed that he bit her, he punched her, all this stuff. And they're checking Tempest and they're like, girl, you ain't got a single like welt on you. No marks, no scars, no bruises. And Tempest is brown skin. But even still, like first hit may make you red. And then if it's a real bad hit, it's going to welt up, even if it's after a couple of minutes. And it's at least been 30 minutes at this point. So we're going to see you be red. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. They were like, huh.
The only part of your story that's corroborated is that you stabbed him because we see the blood.
Right. We see the blood, but we don't see any cuts on you. Interesting.
So, not too long after the police were called out to Clayco, there's a 911 call in DeKalb County from a gas station. And the man calls and he's, yo, man, there's this man out here. I think he needs an ambulance. He's bleeding. Like, somebody's got to get here. And the EMTs, they arrive as fast as they can, and they notice that he has a small puncture wound near his collarbone. And like you can see the surveillance footage of him outside this gas station. Okay, so you know how they had them bumpers so the car don't go over the curb? He like sitting on like the bumper, like curb part of it, legs stressed out, and he looks like he is hurting. But he looks alive. He has managed to get out of the car. He's sitting here, but like he looks very much alive. They run the license plate on the car that this man used to get to the gas station, and the car comes up registered to Vincent Taylor Jr. So they're like, okay, we got to help this man. They get Vincent in the ambulance and they rush him to Grady. At 10:46, he was pronounced dead, which I find frustration.
Is Grady the best? Was Grady the best hospital to go to? Like,
I'm wondering, is it even the closest to DeKalb? Like, there's not a North Side or Emory he could have went to?
he could have gone to Emory, even DeKalb Medical.
But maybe,
Like,
I don't know, maybe those aren't trauma hospitals. And maybe, I feel like Grady is a trauma hospital.
Grady is definitely a trauma hospital, but my goodness, hey, what do I know?
Now, back at the house, Tempest is detained, not necessarily arrested, but detained and taken to the local police precinct. There, the detectives called Vincent's family member to tell them the news. And his dad said, they didn't even tell me. They didn't even tell me he was dead. All they said was, your son is in the ICU. And I fell to my knees. I knew he was dead. And I knew Tempest was behind it. He goes up to the hospital and he sees his son and he said he looked like he was sleeping. He said these are the same clothes I just seen him in earlier that day because his dad was trying to help him escape. And I know that's got to hurt. One, the part that frustrates me about this is that he made it to the gas station, waited for some people to call for help, and this was 20 minutes after you left her house, or 20 minutes after the police arrived to her house. So probably even 30 minutes. I'm going to say that the police took 10 minutes to get to her house, and that's on fast time. And then 20 minutes later, y'all get a call about this man. So for 30 minutes, he's been bleeding in this critical position. What would have happened if she would have just said, fuck, I ain't mean to stab you. Let's call the police here to get you some help.
I think the man was probably running away from her, even if she was like, oh no.
But I wonder, would he have made it if the police had gotten to his center or if he had received help sooner? And then I know his dad
I wonder where he was going.
And then I wonder if, I know it's so hard for his dad to be like, okay, my son has finally decided to leave this girl and I'm going to support him in any way possible. And just to be like, just short. So the detectives, they're investigating, they're getting everybody's story, and they're making note that Tempest is leaning towards the possible motive of murder being that she's a victim of domestic violence. She's saying that he beat up on her. She's saying that he hit her till she was in a cradle position. But Vincent's friends and family say that's not the guy that Vincent was. It was actually Tempest who was the abuser in the relationship. We've been trying to get that nigga free for years at this point. She is horrible to him. Vincent's dad also told the police that Vincent was at his house just hours before the murder and told him that he finally wanted to go through with the divorce.
So back at the house, police are starting to canvass the neighborhood and ask neighbors if they saw or heard anything. And one neighbor is, okay, I heard this lady and this man arguing, and I saw that lady, Tempest, chasing Vincent down the street holding a knife. And they said, you saw her chasing him with both feet? She said, yeah. No crutches? No, she ain't have no crutches. See, you done got caught in your shit. Yeah. And so they were like, okay, we got to have this conversation with Tempest. They start their interview with Tempest at 3:00 in the morning. And at the beginning of the interview, they didn't tell Tempest that Vincent had passed. They know that he is deceased, but they really wanted to hear her side of the story, see how she was going to play this before they showed their hand. So the Detective Jennifer Langley, told Tempest, she was like, you being on the ground in the fetal position, getting punched, and then getting up and grabbing a knife, and then accidentally hitting him, it's not making much sense. Let's back up. Let's talk through this story. Let me make sure that we got everything right. And Tempest says again, I ran outside after Vincent with the knife and I stabbed him, or I hit him outside of the house. And so she's like, it was self-defense. She's trying to set it up to be self-defense. But Detective Langley is like, okay, if you're chasing him, there's no sense of danger, because if he was the aggressor and he leaves, you should be happy that he left. And then
She's chasing him and being attacked.
If you're the victim, why is everybody seeing you being the chaser? The chaser is the one that's the aggressor, right? And so Tempest says, no. He's the one that's always abusing me. I've got this domestic violence dispute before. I know he did it.
They were like, dandy charge. And y'all wonder why she ain't never withdraw it.
And Detective Langley is, it just don't make sense, because abusers don't run from fights. Abusers welcome fights. They start the fights. They pick them. And so they talk for an hour, and then the detective is like, all right, let's take a break. You say he's the aggressor. You say you stabbed him in self-defense. Let's just calm down. We're going to come back. And at this point, still, nobody's told him, and still nobody's told Tempest that Vincent is dead. At this point, Tempest really don't know where Vincent is or what he got going on. So at 5:25 a.m., detectives, they go back in for the interview, and they're like, all right, Tempest, we have some stuff to tell you. We have located Vincent. He was stabbed. Took him to Grady. He did not survive his injuries, and Vincent has passed away. He did not survive. And he did it? No, wait a minute. Are you serious? And she starts screaming and crying. Mama is freaking out, shaking, waving her hands. She's like falling on the ground, crying. Give this woman an award. Every bit of her body she used to make a scene. And she's, oh my gosh, why couldn't it have been me? This is the only man I ever loved. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Because like she told his mama he ain't got no place to stay. She ain't got nowhere to go. And so she's having a full meltdown, a full temper tantrum. It is happening so bad that they bring the EMTs to the investigation room to calm this girl down. It got so bad that she was on the floor. The EMTs and the detectives, they had to restrain her physically, so she's on the floor. One of the detectives on the floor sitting down, and she's like in between the detective's legs, like the detective has the legs open. They're like holding her up, and she's just like flailing and rocking back and forth. And finally, she calms down, and Detective Langley is, listen, now that you got all that out, just so you know, you being charged.
Are you good? All right. you going to jail. So she is arrested and she's charged with voluntary manslaughter the same day. On January 28th of 2020, Vincent's funeral was held. She ends up sitting in jail for 8 months until she was able to post bail. And Vincent Sr. said that her getting out upset the entire family. They said that Tempest came out and was very reckless and very rude towards Vincent's family after she made bail. And even on social media, she's posting Snapchats and shit saying, I'm back. She made a Facebook post that said, I was forced into my loss because God saw a greater purpose. His cousin Jordan said that she looked just like a regular girl living a regular life. Like something significant didn't just happen less than a year ago. Like this man, the father of your children, this guy who you're supposed to love has died at your hands. And here you are talking about, I'm back. I got a greater purpose. She even created a Facebook post that created a fundraiser for the Georgia Coalition Against Domestic Violence Incorporated. And as of today, the fundraiser has raised 0 out of the $200 goal. This girl, you
That's
need to
because
go
God
for
don't
2
like ugly.
bands.
That's because God don't like ugly.
She did go on Facebook and update her relationship status to single. These are all more red flags. She just don't stop, right? Now, although we were able to find these posts, it seems like a lot of her page was deleted because it's not finding a lot of there. So, around the time that research was being done for this episode, the Facebook discussion group was tapped in. And apparently, she was active through December of 2020, but then that American Monster episode came out and her page was likely reported or something, but tripled up from there. Somebody in our discussion group did say that she had a boyfriend, and he left a comment saying that he couldn't wait to marry her when she got out. The family made it very known that they were not happy with her being released. They called the DA's office, and Vincent Sr. said there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that proved that she killed Vincent and not in an act of defense. So why the fuck do she get to roam the street? But sorry, that's what happens until she get to see trial.
When they did search Vincent's car, they found 3 phones. One belonged to Vincent, one was Tempest's phone, and one was the phone that belonged to their youngest daughter. They got all the data off of Vincent's phone and partial data off of Tempest's phone. And most of the text messages they found on Tempest's phone, most of the text messages that they found on Vincent's phone were between him and Tempest, and it shows like that she was really wild with her words and mean and acted different behind closed doors. Facebook and the phone were not adding up. And at the time of the search warrant, they only covered partial data for Tempest's phone while they were prepping for trial. And so then they had to put in a new search warrant so that they could get all of the data from Tempest's phone. When they use this new technology and this new warrant to look at Tempest's phone, they find a smoking gun. Literally, they find actual audio on her phone of the entire murder. They find the actual audio of the murder on Tempest's phone. Y'all heard it earlier. That audio was not found until, what was that, 2 search warrants later? And so when they see this, and it's very clear that Tempest did the crime, Tempest's charges were upgraded to felony murder, malice murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a knife during the commission of a felony.
So the trial date was set 3 years after, in December of 2023. It was delayed because of the pandemic, but Chief Judge Robert Mack presided over it, and Tempest put in a plea of not guilty. I know they felt, I can see why his family started to do an uproar, because she got out, what they say, January of 2020. No, she got arrested 2020, but she still got out. She still got out in 2020, and she didn't go to trial until 2023. They was like, she really out here just kicking it, huh?
Just living a normal life. Because if you're not convicted, yeah, you good.
So
I hope she got a job.
she had to. She done lost her support system.
She now had to solely support these kids as she got ready to
Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial.
She got up there, and of course, her defense was that it was self-defense. She said that Vincent was a serial abuser, and she ultimately had no choice but to kill him. ADA Brianna McKnight represented the state, and they claimed that Tempest killed her husband for no other reason than the fact that she was mad that he was finally going to leave her after she had been abusive towards him throughout the course of the relationship. They played the recording for the jury, and that was the main piece of evidence. She threatened him multiple times in that recording. She threatened that she was going to kill him, not harm him, kill him multiple times in that recording. They also had several witnesses testify that there was no evidence of abuse of Tempest by Vincent. The photos after the arrest aren't showing that. The examination after the arrest aren't showing that. The family and their accounts of what happened aren't showing that. They also had people testifying to Vincent's character. He was always known for his calm demeanor. He never had a history of violence, except for that one charge. But after hearing everything, the jury went, deliberated, and found Tempest guilty on all charges.
On February 8th, 2024, she was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. And when she found this out, she cried. She cried throughout the entire trial, but she cried really hard when she found out her sentence. She had to serve at least 30 years before she can try for parole in 2053. A few of her family members did testify on her behalf, saying that she was a victim, not a killer. Her mom, Kimberly, said, "My daughter was a victim, and the only thing she was doing was defending herself. So I again beg you, please don't take her away from us." She had an aunt, Albertina Kohler, and they said there are no winners here, none on either side. And you know what? I do wish that her mom would have gone on that and talked a little bit more, because sometimes they are a little bit one-sided, and she has admitted to lying about abuse, but is there something there? Or is her mom just having her back? You never know. Vince's mom said, "It was deserving. I'm just happy we got justice for Vincent. I miss him dearly. His life was so short, and he had so much love to give, so much talent to pursue, and I would have loved to see what he would have been like." His dad said, "I will never get over this. I will never get past this. It's a piece of you, and he's gone. So how do you fill that void when something is missing, especially something that is like your child?" She did say that she plans to appeal, but we haven't seen any appeals as of yet. And currently, she is serving her sentence at the Helms facility right down the street in DeKalb County. And this is the story of Tempest Daniels. Whew. All right, y'all. It's time for...
Well, I'm not black. I'm OJ.
I ain't do it, but if I did, this is how I got away with it. I guess we might as well start with I ain't do it, but if I did, phones off. Or maybe he recorded it on her phone, because she said that he got her phone. Whoever did the recording, if he did the recording, good on you. If she did the recording, I didn't do it, but if I did.
I didn't do it, but if I did, how are you solely providing on a man and then kill him? How does that work? How you want him to make more money if he did? I ain't do it, but if I did, you gotta fake the funk a little bit. If you gonna be that dark, twisted person, make nobody believe it. They should be like, Tempest? No way.
No. And it goes from, if you're dark and twisted, you got to start from the beginning. From the first time you meet his mama, you got to be you got to be sweet as sweet potato pie, girl. You've got to just, be perfect.
I ain't do it, but if I did, if you're gonna play defensive or whatever, you don't wait so long to try and, again, you still gotta commit to the story. He's abusing you. You never wanted to hurt him. Oh my God, she should have called the police. Oh my God, I stabbed him. I hope he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You might at least got a lesser degree, something. But you just waiting so long to tell the police that this man is even injured. It's a bit wild.
Yeah.
What else?
I ain't do it, but if I did, I wouldn't have had them crutches. What are you doing, girl? The people saw you.
Girl, they saw you. They saw you yesterday, the day before yesterday, and they gonna see you tomorrow.
How you doing?
She said, "Let me bust this out."
She said, I found these in the back of the closet.
And if you was gonna bring out the crutches, then bring them out early. Again, you gotta stick to the plot. Cause shouldn't have nobody seen your ass chasing him down the street. Now the crutches don't fit. Unless you said you twisted your ankle chasing his ass. But she sat out there, see, I can't even run, cause look at my condition.
More better.
Gots to. Where else she fuck up at? I'm just so tired of these girls who want their men to make more money while they not working. Get a hustle, get something. Ain't nobody even say, if you want to be the stay-at-home parent, ain't nobody even say you got to build a full-time job. But you better learn how to knit some blankets and sell them on Etsy or something.
And see, they were going into 2020 because I was like, it's the time of the hustle.
2020 sparked so many ideas.
For everybody.
You just need to lock in, girl.
Great. That's all I got too. Parole or no parole?
That man ain't want to do nothing but make you smile.
It's like, oh.
That's what you give up right there. Because if it's been all of this and she don't love you,
it's not going to happen, my boy.
Not the love you deserve, at least.
Yeah, I also say no. No parole on that. Sorry, girl.
Hurry.
All right. Welcome to the part of the show where we shout out your Black owned business. If you would like your business announced on this podcast, email us